Hey, everybody. Over the next couple podcasts, I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I've been reflecting on over the past few years in my real estate business. I've been doing this for about 7 years now, and 5 or 6 of those have been inside this mastermind group, 7-Figure Altitude. It was 7-Figure Flipping. And there's a lot of realizations that I had for my business and some of the ways that I think and make decisions. And I want to share those with you, especially going into 2021 now. A lot of people have their goals set. You're ready to move forward and you're thinking about, what is this year going to look like and how are you going to grow your business, grow yourself personally and professionally? So I sat down and I thought about a couple of different things that I think have really been game changers for me. And I want to share them with you as we go into this year, because I'm doing the same thing as you guys. You heard probably on my Blackjack year in review, I'm having to reset a little bit my business and make a shift and a change and an adjustment in what I'm doing. So some of the things that I thought about for this episode are like what's going on in the market right now and what's happening coming up, like what's next, right? If we start looking ahead and new strategies, new opportunities, start thinking about that and thinking about how you can add value to your business and how you might need to get a little bit more involved personally, like I am, and making a shift or a change or an adjustment and not constantly do the same thing over and over again. Because what's working now and what was working before may not be working in the future. So we have an event coming up for our 7-Figure Altitude and 7-Figure Runway members, and we put a theme to each of these events. And what's coming up right now is it's called The Power of the Past and the Force of the Future. So using past data and information to be able to start predicting and hypothesizing on what's to come in the future. And I think that's the key for a lot of us, like especially me right now, is I'm trying to, instead of just, we were kind of growing, having this huge business, 200, 300 deals, trying to get to like 1,000 deals a year. And it just wasn't working for us. So instead of, like you heard, continuing to go down that same path, continue to break even or potentially lose money, really chose to kind of retool the business a little bit and see what happens. And I had this idea of this administrative hub that I talked about where we make a shift and a change. Well, over the past 5 or 6 years, what I've been involved in this mastermind group. I was a paying member. I was one of the first members of 7-Figure Flipping. And I sat and watched as other people were seeing success and other people were having problems. And as that was going on, I was able to take all that information in and make adjustments in my business. And instead of going at it kind of like blindly or alone, I took people that were having success in the past. I looked at what they were doing and how they were doing it. And I started implementing some of that stuff in my business. And I've seen a lot of people come into our mastermind group and do the same thing. And I've also seen a lot of people come into our mastermind group and just kind of, this is the way that I do my business. This is it. And I want to tell you all about it, and I'm not going to watch and listen or make an adjustment myself. So the primary purpose of this podcast right now is to, number one, talk to those members who are in our mastermind group that are listening and say, look around, like pay attention to what's going on inside the group, really get involved, come to these events, and be open-minded to some changes that you might need to make and let people hold up a mirror to what you're doing. And for those of you that aren't in our mastermind group or don't get this on a regular basis, hopefully give you an idea of, number one, what these meetings and events look like and what they're about. But number two, hopefully open your mind to the fact that you might need to shift and change and make an adjustment and don't just keep doing what's always been working. And I say that because what you should be doing right now is you should be running your business today. So you should be doing what you do today, what's working right now, and let your team and your staff and those folks handle the day-to-day operations and business. And if you're still involved in that, that's fine. Try to work yourself out of it if you can, but if not, then keep doing that. But you have to spend just as much, if not more time on thinking about what's coming, what's in the future. And I know a lot of entrepreneurs do that on a regular basis, but you usually think about other ideas, other businesses, distractions, stuff like that, instead of looking at your core business and saying, okay, if this happens, then what? If that happens, then what? Like, what would I do if this happened? And I think I personally, I'll speak for myself, in the last year, spent the majority of my time trying to figure out, what does this all mean? Like at the end of 2020, what happened? What's coming? What's coming up next? And how can I be more agile and adaptive to the unknowns? because I won't say that I know exactly what's going to happen, but last year we thought that the market was going to shift and change and go down, and all this job loss was going to create a huge problem inside the market. And really it ended up the fact that we have no inventory, prices were driving up, people still needed to move, that the flippers were in really, really good situations here, being able to make a ton of money on their houses. And they wish they had more inventory. And I don't know that I would have predicted that in the beginning of the year. And being able to continue down that road, what I'm excited about is we haven't had an in-person meeting in almost a year now. So February was our last in-person meeting. It was the cruise that we did in 2020. And after that, they've been virtual meetings. So we're going back to a hybrid of in-person and virtual meetings. And so I'm really excited about that. And I'm also excited to get around the other folks and really just listen. And I'm going to spend my time over these 2 days at this event here in Nashville for our 7-Figure Out students, 7-Figure Runway members, walking around, listening, and seeing what's happening in the other businesses. Where are people seeing success? Where are people having some struggles? What do they think is going to happen? Just having conversations and listening and opening my mind to what's possible this year and some changes and adjustments that I need to make. So what will the market do next? I love coming to these meetings because we're constantly hypothesizing. I'm having conversations. I'm listening to other people, and they are talking about what they think is coming next, right? What's working right now? So what's working now, and what do we think is working next? I think this is the number 2 thing that you need. Number 1, what do you think is going to happen next? Like, what is the hypothesis that you have for the market? Number 2, what's working right now, and what could potentially work in the future if this happened and then that happened? So come up with some things that might happen, some changes in the market, some shifts, some adjustments. And if that happens, what does your business need to look like? And start preparing for that now and start thinking about what that would look like. Coming up with new strategies and opportunities inside your business. So what are you really, really good at as a company? And when I really thought about it and sat down, we're really good at getting a deal done, like working a deal through our pipeline. So why couldn't we bring a 150 unit multifamily building through the pipeline the same way that we bring a single family house? And why are we doing all that in a totally separate business on the side where we have a great team and staff and system and process that could handle that? So why aren't we marketing for those directly here inside the business? So that was one kind of aha that I had this year. Same thing with the land development deals and things that Nate was doing. Why can't we bring in some of the folks that are already on the team, that we're already paying, that we're already running that business? Why can't we bring them into the fold? Why do we have to be the ones that do all that work? So new strategies and opportunities come from skill set, come from systems, come from process, all the stuff that you already have happening in your company and your business right now. What are some things that I've seen other people spin off? Ancillary businesses, maybe a training program or a system that other real estate investors need. They're using in their business, and they were able to create it for the masses and go sell it and have more of a software system or something like that. Like, what are you doing right now that could be a new strategy or a new opportunity for the future as you start growing? The caution that I'll give you is to not like shift your focus and move it outside of what you're currently doing, because a lot of times the visionary, the operator, us, we need to be involved in the business. I shared some of the reasons why Blackjack had a less than stellar year. And mainly it was because I was not involved. Like, I needed to jump back in. The people that I saw that really did a great job building their businesses through this pandemic were the ones that jumped back in, that maybe had been part-time or almost like a couple hours a week. And they went in more like half-time or, 10, 15 hours a week to really jump in there and build it back up and put their ideas and their strategies and those things in place. So power of the past and the force of the future. The purpose of this is to hopefully change the way that you guys think a little bit about how today's business is running. You've got to continue to run today's business, but you need to think about the future. You got to think about tomorrow's business down the road. And you might think that you're doing that, but you're really probably not spending enough time on it. And if you're thinking about lots of other ideas, other businesses, different things to start, that you're going down the wrong path right now. You've got to think about like if-then statements for your company and your business and the things that you're doing, because it's not always going to be the same. And some people have been beating on this drum for all of 2020, and you may have heard this and thought about this, but right now, things are good. Things are good in our real estate businesses. Things are, stable, somewhat stable in the market, and things like that. So there's a little bit of false sense of security. And what I want to do is I want to bring you back there. Like 2021, I think that we can ride this high, this wave in real estate for a while. But that doesn't mean that you'll be able to get deals the same way that you got deals, 6 months ago or right now. Go back to some of the things you were doing before, talking to brokers, short sales, looking on the MLS, things like that. Like, what are some of the things that you haven't done in a while that could potentially bear some fruit for you, and start thinking about making those changes. What I love is that I get to be surrounded by 150 of the top real estate investors in the world over the next couple days in about a week and a half from now. And I'm just going to have my ears open. I definitely don't think that I know everything. I don't just talk and talk and talk. I want to listen to what other people are doing, the other operators that are out there that have a better business than me, that are better operators, that are involved in their company regularly. And I'm going to listen to them. And that is invaluable, especially at a time like this. Times are good, times are bad. It's invaluable, because what I can do is if my ears are open and I'm open to change, open to adjustment and adapting my company and making changes, then I have the opportunity to really be able to do something here and be able to grow and be able to think about how we could potentially adapt and change in the future, and how we could bring on some of the things that other people are doing that are working really well for them that we're not doing in our business right now or our company, and we might not have even thought about. So I'll ask you, if you're not a part of our mastermind group, what are you waiting for? Like, what's stopping you? I've been a paying member of this group for a long time. And it's the reason why I've been able to grow and scale my business. And it's that combined with the fact that I am open to listen and open to make changes and adjust. And I'm constantly trying to tweak things. And I always talk about it. My company is just like a Frankenstein model of everybody else's business and what they're doing. And I think it's really important to think about that. And I'll invite you, if you've been listening to podcasts for a long time, I'll invite you to apply to 7-Figure Altitude. I have no doubt that if you jump into this and you're regularly doing deals right now, that there's something here that will help you grow beyond your wildest dreams, beyond the past, the point that you think that you can get. And it's very eye-opening when you get around other people. Whether you've been in a mastermind group or not before, it will explode your business, and the people in there are absolutely amazing. So, and I know that you probably have something to share too, and something that I could open my ears and eyes to that could really help me and my company. So we are collaboratively better together. And what will the market do next? There's people in this group that they have these ideas, these theories, these things that they're doing, and we're all preparing together and sharing it with each other. What's working now and what's working next? I think this is something that they're really thinking about, and we're constantly talking about, especially at this meeting, this power of the past, force of the future, like taking the data and information from the past and projecting it into the future to figure out how we can change and adapt and adjust to 2021. And then the new strategies and opportunities, not only just like in theory, but as they come up, we're all sharing them with each other and saying, hey, this is working in my market. You guys should try it. And it's really kind of keeps you at the pointy tip of the spear, as we say in the military, like that first adapter, the first person that gets to the cheese moves, we're the first people there. And hopefully we're standing there when it gets there. So I'll encourage you to go to 7figurealtitude.com, jump in, fill out an application, talk to Medina, talk to Dave, talk to the team, and we'll see. Hopefully we can get you in there. We have a meeting coming up January 22nd and 23rd here in Nashville. And so there's time. It's next week, but we'd love to have you. We'd love to talk with you and see. The cool thing is this event, we're doing a hybrid model. So we're actually doing a model where we're live in person. We've also invested in a bunch of tech for those that don't want to come in person and just feel a little bit uncomfortable, can't travel, those kind of things. And they can attend from their home. And it's not just like streaming you in. We've done Facebook Lives before, or like live videos where you just watch, but we're really trying to engage and be interactive a lot like Flip Hacking Live. So we spent a lot of time on this. It's going to be really exciting. I can't wait for it. And we're going to use the past to start predicting it and trying to figure out what the future looks like. So that's a challenge for all of you in your business for sure. I would love for you to join us, jump in, be a part of it, and go to 7figurealtitude.com. You can jump in with us and follow along. I'm sure we'll be sharing some of the presentations, talking about it, those kind of things. And I'll be talking about a couple other things that have helped me in my business over the past 6 or 7 years on upcoming podcasts here. So today was more about using past data, being open to feedback, criticism, changes, adjustments, those kind of things, and really listen to the people that are around you that are your kind of board of directors. And do you have that? You really need that. And I've been fortunate and thankful to have that, and it's really changed the way that I think. It's changed the way that I show up. It's changed the way that it's changed my bank account for sure. The way I look at business, the confidence that I have in myself and moving forward in the future for companies and whatever I do. And not ever needing to be responsible for somebody else to write my paycheck. And it's been a game changer for me. And I've grown a lot. It's been great. I'm thankful to have been a part of this group and now to own it. So you can go to sevenfigurealtitude.com and fill out an application, jump in with us. I know Dave and Medina and the team would love to talk with you, and we'd love to see you at the event here in Nashville at the Opryland Hotel on January 20, I think it's 22nd, 23rd, Friday and Saturday. We're going to have an awesome time. I'm really excited about it. Vanessa's putting together an amazing event. Becca's helping with the membership side and running it with her team. I haven't been as involved as I have been in the past. And it's really cool, the involvement that's happening here and the changes inside Seven Figure Flipping. So go to sevenfigurealtitude.com, fill out an application, check it out. And if it's for you, then we'll talk to you about it. If not, no big deal. Have a conversation with Dave and we'll tell you a little bit more about it and how we can help you. So hope to see you there. We're going to use the power of the past and project that into the future to create this force of business that we're rolling into 2021 with. And I think it's needed. I'm really excited about being in person, and I can't wait for the event.